Hi, this is a foreigner in the Philippines. Well, good evening. Uh, it's funny we think about meeting the beautiful Filipina, and we think, wow, if she could be honest and true and loyal and love me for what I am, whatever age I am, uh, wouldn't that be paradise? Wouldn't it be paradise if I lived in a lovely place and was able to start a new life after my old life in wherever I've come from, whatever land I've come from, and wouldn't that be a fitting beginning to another life, not an end to the life that I've got? And you would think, wouldn't that be the end of the headache? Everybody that talks to me, they talk about, well, there are many actually who tell me wonderful love stories, and I love those wonderful love stories about meeting someone finally. Not everybody manages that. One man has written and said that he's over the years he has met 4,000 women. That I'm not saying that he slept with them all, okay? But what I'm saying is that he has, one way and another, he's vetted and considered as possible partners for the future 4,000 women, and all Asian or Filipinas. So it doesn't happen to everybody. But it's funny, I have met someone who has the strangest of dilemmas. I met someone who came out on a vacation, and in typical happy ever after, or is it, met a wonderful lady, and this wonderful lady loves him to distraction. And wouldn't you think that that was the happy ending, the happy ever after ending? And it's not, because meeting and falling in love with this wonderful lady has meant that he feels, in the way that we've talked about before, a way that I've tried to broach, and that is that taking a Filipina to another country, be it the UK, be it, I don't know, Germany, Australia, it doesn't always bring a happy ending. Even though I've had many letters after my last video on this subject from people who went to Filipinas who wrote to me and said that they had, who's this in my hair? What have I got in there now? But they've written to me and said, the Filipinas have said, well, you know, you may be right, but I didn't find any problem in adjusting, and I moved to America, and the facilities are great. One lady said, I got a business, I got a master's in business, a business degree, I have a great job. Yes, this one here has a master's in, but she met me. Well, not everything goes right, does it? Does it, darling? So, not everybody goes to another country and can't settle in. Some settle in just great. And I figure that what that means is that they found their place. But back to our gentleman who has the most unusual dilemma. He had gotten to the point where he realized his life's dream, and that was to be in a certain place with a certain way of living. And I don't want to give everything away, so I'm not going to give too many details, right? But he found his place, and he found it in America. And he found it because when he was in his, well, perhaps I'm giving too much, but he bought a piece of property which turned out to be his dream, and he made for himself an incredible life. Now, he has his doubts because of various family difficulties, and we've talked about this before, about the idea that you can just marry somebody here and take them home and it will be happy ever after. But not every family, my own included, in the main cannot accept the lady. So you may have found the happiest moment of your life with your dream partner. Finally, you may have found your, well, what is it? Your soulmate. You may have realized all of those impossible dreams and found this wonderful lady who you love to distraction, and she feels the same. Now, it's only the beginning of what may turn out to be a huge dilemma. This gentleman was not sure that he could easily take his soulmate and take her home. And yet he didn't feel that he could leave home to come and be with her. Now, that's a kind of a nightmare story of being caught between two sets or two ideas of paradise. So you've got a paradise on one side in this country and a paradise on that side in the other country, and whichever way you look at it, it's a catch-22. Each one presents a paradox. You would be happy in this but have left an unhappy situation in that, or you can be happy in that and have to give up something in this. And it is one of those dilemma kinds of situations that we never actually think of that, do we? When we think about finding paradise, we always think, right, you reach rock bottom. This is the normal scenario. This is the one that I get a lot of. People message me and say, I am just so sick of where I am. I can't stand it any longer. I don't want to be here, and I'm coming to the Philippines and I'm going to make a life for myself, and that's it. And I've met this lovely woman, and to hell with everything. I'm going to take a leap of faith. And so they're leaving. There's no dilemma in leaving what has become a bad dream for them and find this great life in the Philippines. In this particular case, it could be anywhere, couldn't it? So there's no dilemma there. There's no problem. The only problem is usually I just need to work for a few more months or a year or 2 years in some cases just to earn enough money so that I can be comfortable there and support my family, my new extended family, as we've talked about all of this, all of the pros and cons of taking on a Filipina wife and understanding that she comes with a family. So all of that is the only side of a dilemma, the only sign of a dilemma that people usually have. And the obvious one is the lady honest and true? Well, in this particular case, there is no question about that, no question about any lessening of trust, or all of those things are settled. There's a great deal of love, a great bonding, and now what? Oh, to have a situation like that. If he stays, he's unhappy. If he goes, he's unhappy. And so, but in either case, there would be a measure of happiness which might prove to be well worth the break. Just imagine how you would manage to cope with that kind of a challenge. Both sides of the dilemma, both sides of the coin are paradise in their own way. Very tough. My friend, I wish you very well on solving that problem. Thanks for watching. This is A Foreigner in the Philippines. Paradise comes in strange wrappings.